pay-per-view.
Hey, there we go. We look like the Brady Bunch for a second. Yeah.
All right, hold up. We're just messing around out here, guys. Before we get going, we've got 22, 23 people in it. And then we're going to get started on the topics. What is happening? Let me read out some of the names of the people. Oh, that's the Brady Bunch look. I love it. That's freaking awesome. All right. So let me just give a shout out to some people out here. We got Doug Sweener. He says, hi, y'all from Talladega, Alabama. Dirty, what's up? Patrick Hattrick, ATL, Miss Atlanta in the house. JT, the man, is in the panel. The 333, the power of the three is here. Tracy LDH. Tracy, haven't seen you. Smitty Independent, but welcome in. Street Fighter ATL, JT something. Okay, we got him. Chief Gomez from right here in San Antonio. Wind and Wrenches. This is somebody that Geared Raven brought up quite a few times to me. What's up? What's up? We got Fairly Vague. Who else is in here? Skid Pig, all the way from Australia. Buddy, thank you for joining us. Skid, we've got one of your countrymen out here. If you recognize him down here at the bottom, Mr. Outback Outlaw. All right, who else? Randy's Rides. Oh, Motorcycle Mama. I hope I'm not missing anybody. Adventures of the Bearded Bobber. What's up, brother? Can't wait to see you and a bunch of you other guys out there in Oklahoma when we go take that place over here in a couple weeks. Who else? David Law, Bass Connor. Bass is one of my very first dudes that I ever started. I thought I was following him, but he was following me. Who else do we have? The Matt Man, Cajun Rider. My goodness. Black Top Devil, one of my very faves. Landshark, Motorcycle Mick. My God. And I'm almost done reading these guys, but I want to give everybody props. Chuckster, don't call me out, Dirty Deez. Damn, too late, dude. Drone Kings in Darwin, Moto G Spot. If you haven't seen Moto G Spot, go check him out. One of the names in moto vlogging, Moto G Spot. You got to have balls to name yourself that.
You're right.
Gotta have balls.
Monetized.
All right, guys. I think that pretty much, I think I got everybody in. So do you guys like the Brady Bunch look, or do you want the other one? What do you think?
I like it. It's up to you.
Let's go with the Brady Bunch look for just a little while. Okay. I kind of like that. I like seeing what everybody's up to out there. All right, so real quick intro, guys. I want to be real respectful of everybody's time. We're going to try to keep it to an hour, but then I'm going to let the chat roll on after that, and that's just going to be like bullshit time. But we have JT Southern Fried. We have Miss the Geared Raven. We call her just Geared Raven or Mary or Miss Mary Geared Raven. We got Moto Ricky Ricardo. We got Dad and Matt. Look, Dad is coming out all the way from, what city do you live in actually, Dad?
I live, the easiest way to understand it is I'm just near Birmingham. You wouldn't have heard where I'm from. I'm close to Wolverhampton. So it's right in the middle of the UK, basically.
Okay, cool. We got Mr. Wiggs. Wiggs in the house. What's up, buddy? I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, barely. I just shoved food in my face as we started.
That's insane. Wiggs sent me a text. He said, man, I'm going to jump on, but you might have to watch me eat. That's cool, man. Don't worry. That's all good. And then
it was delicious.
All the way from Australia, the Outback Outlaw, a.k.a. Fart Chair Detective. Some people haven't heard of you, man. Talk a little bit about what you do, buddy.
Well, I do a lot of farts, basically.
Does a lot of farts. Amen to that. I know you do, man. You are true to form. You guys go check him out. He's a wild card tonight, man. All right. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. We're going to talk about what we came to talk about. Number one on the agenda. Ooh, drama. So the latest HAPS recaps. So is it really drama? I don't think it's really drama, but just some of the latest stuff going on. And it's really no big deal, man. Just shooting the bullshit. What you've seen, some new stuff on channels. Give you an example. I saw that old Knuckles was doing some serious work to that bike that he got, and it's a real change from what he had before, man. And that thing is bad freaking ass. But what I like most is what he had on the back. He got a plate made that something like said Knuckles TV with a YouTube. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was sick.
Damn.
I think that's like a vanity plate over the top of his real one, though. But still, it's cool.
Man, I love it. I need to get something like that. I was like, okay, I started thinking about it. If you got something like that, as much riding around town that you do, you're bound to pick up 2 or 3 people a day.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
this dude sucks, but he has a channel. I'm getting him.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the other thing I watch Knuckles TV quite a bit. Always have. And I noticed that he stopped doing Natty Nights, which was different. So he was doing Natty Nights, but I know that he's always got something creative up his sleeve, man. For him to let Natty Nights go, he's probably got the next big thing coming up on his channel, I'm sure. Skid Pig, it's on his tour pack. JT Hickman in the house. Those 2020s are coming, yep. Yeah, but that was really cool. And then, so speaking of Kid Pig, latest haps, I saw Skid Pig got a boat or was riding around on that boat. I'm like, damn, this dude's setting the bar pretty high. I'm gonna have to get
He's on something different in every video. He's in a truck, or he's on the jet ski thing, or the big boat, the bike.
the crab business is
I
good.
think he was sitting on top of his drone last week flying around.
Oh man. All right, cool. All right, latest haps on the traps. There we go. Man, these subjects, we've got 5 or 6 of them, and we're already 10 minutes in. So that one was a light touch. But the drama, the latest haps, or recaps. You guys got anything else new? Anything going on in your world? New bikes, new parts? What are you up to? JT, you just came back from the beach.
Yeah, that's it. Just put miles on it, man. I ain't really upgrading or anything like that. But probably next weekend, my brother-in-law that went to the beach with me, we're going to look to ride the length of the Blue Ridge Parkway next weekend. So,
Snap, that's nice, man.
yeah, we're going to take 2 days, I think, to do it. So 490 miles, but there's a slow speed limit on the parkway. Plus, I mean, hell, you want to stop every 200 yards just to look at the views.
Got that. Yeah, man, no joke. Hey, by the way, I'm going to send something in the chat here for anybody who's going to the Bring It Home up in Oklahoma. Just put, I guess, just write me in there. But if you're going to Bring It Home, just write me in there. I'd like to meet up with you guys when you get there. So we've got about 34 people in here, so we're going to keep it rolling. Next topic. Okay. Ooh, this is one. Mary sent me a question on this. She said, what the hell is ITSRC?
I'm not the only one that was wondering.
I'm sure. So ITSRC, what can it do for me? All right. So ITSRC, all that is, guys, this is just a discussion on story building and storytelling within videos or within movies and stuff like this. It's something that I came across. There are a few different forms of it. And I'm going to talk about a real interesting one that's like stand the test of time, including Star Wars, quite frankly. But anyway, so this one, ITSRC, it's something that I keep in mind from time to time, which means introduction, tension, situation, then you have resolution, and then the close. So, I was doing some reading on how stories are put together and stuff like this, and there really is kind of a scientific format. So the introduction, I've been trying to work on those. The tension is like when you ask a question or you build some kind of a, you're leading up to either going on a bike ride or going on a night ride, or if you're going out like to the Blue Ridge, right? You do an intro on what the Blue Ridge is. You might ride up there and have some kind of like issue. You got to pull over, take care of something, or maybe it's just a diversion into a restaurant, Badass Hooters or something like that, JT. Wink, wink. And then you got the situation, so you're actually doing the thing. You're doing the Blue Ridge ride, and then the resolution. So it's kind of like an off the bike talk, and then the close or call to action. So ITSRC. The other one that I came across, and I'm gonna let you guys jump in because I want to do all the yapping. But another one that I came across is like this prodigal son type thing. So if you think about Star Wars, it's kind of based on this, and there's some serious Bible stories based on this as well, right? So you got somebody from a small town who goes away for a long time. They learn something and they come back to rescue the people that are there, right? And this is just like, it was a trip when I was thinking about it. How many stories are based on this?
Oh, that's like the oldest story in history, man. I mean, it really is. That's Moses. Good God, that's and on up through history. That story's over and over rehashed out. Superman, yeah. Like you said, Star Wars, they're all kind of following that same line.
It's referred commonly in writing as the King's Journey.
Yes. Absolutely.
And that's why we have wigs on LiveCast, man. This dude. So it's known as the King's Journey, huh?
Yeah. It's the most ubiquitous story. Like it's the most relatable thing to our human nature.
Yeah, that or the
Like
hero's
one
tale,
person can change history. That kind of idea.
Yeah.
or the hero's arc, I think is another term
Yeah,
I've heard
that's
for
another way to say it. Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Land Shark says the eternal hero.
The eternal hero. Yep. Moto Ricky Ricardo says ITSRC means it's Rick.
That's right.
That's what it looks like.
It's right.
The 333 says my method is I suck.
Come on now.
Oh my God. Who else did we get in here? Motosaurus Rex. All right, cool. All right, continuing on. Do you guys ever think about like when you're doing these videos and stuff like that, do you ever try to set it up where you've got kind of a beginning, a middle, and an end? Or maybe we can get something from Outback Outlaw. I know yours is pretty friggin' random, bro. Are you beginning, middle, and end, or what are you up to in your vids?
Well, I should have my motorbike very shortly. I was going to get it registered in this state, but I can't be bothered with that, so I'll just register it back in the old state and just ride it in this state. And I'll bring it back up to where I'm living, so I can actually start doing motorblogging. That's the whole reason I got on YouTube, but I got kind of waylaid. And then, basically ended up having a schizophrenic episode and turned into Fart Chair Detective. Not sure how that happened, but anyway, that's the way it is.
It happened pretty well, man. That's a hero right there, baby. All right. So
But I'm really looking forward to riding the Indian again. I went and looked at it yesterday and touched it and felt good seeing it. So I'll get it up here very soon.
I think it's amazing, number one, that Fart Chair Detective is here all the way from Australia. And then the second thing I think is amazing is how bad his audio sounds. Had to throw it out there, brother. We got you out here.
Sorry about that.
I'm joking, man. You're on the other side of the planet. I think it's freaking amazing. Donna Man, Dirty Deez, JT Southern Fried, he's just hollering everybody out. All right, cool. Donna Main. Do you guys watch Donna Main?
Yep.
Mary? Somebody that I came across not too long ago, but I think one of you guys recommended him to me, actually. I forget who it was.
Let's get feedback.
Yeah. I think somebody's got a little bit of feedback on there. All right, we're going to keep on moving. Let's talk about the debate. Camera settings you want for vlogging. So camera settings, guys. You know what? On these, we all bullshit a little bit, and there's always crazy chats going on, but we also try to learn something out here. And I was having a pretty good discussion with Wiggs on camera settings. This was going back maybe, I don't know what, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, that
Talking
sounds
about-
about right.
Hold on. I think I can do something here with that sound.
Yeah, go ahead to mute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on.
Why?
I think that
Yeah.
fixed it. All right. Kind of like this thing. All right.
Yeah, so you asked me to think about this subject, and I did. And I'm happy to share any of my camera settings and what I know, but what I really wanted to share was that you should let your camera make as few decisions as possible for you. You should learn as much as you can about the camera you have and the theory behind setting up a good, well-balanced shot. And you should have very few settings on auto. There's so many resources here on YouTube for how to choose your shutter speed, your frames per second, your ISO. And when you buy your first camera, that's really confusing and intimidating. And I would say just bury it in your brain. Watch those videos over and over and over and over again until eventually it sinks in. And then choose the settings that are right for you and lock them in. My GoPro has 2 of the 12 settings are on auto. Everything else is locked. My ISO's locked. My color temperature is locked. I shoot in flat. That's a stylistic choice. I like to color grade in editing myself. And the reason for that is that cameras are amazing, especially cell phones and GoPros, at choosing the right setting for you at the moment. But the problem with that is when you edit your whole video and upload it to YouTube or any full piece of work, what happens is your video looks different every time the lighting changes or every time there's a motion change. It's making a decision for you and it's changing the setting, and then your video doesn't look consistent. So if you do want to go back and do like color grade it, you can't make it consistent no matter how much you fight with it, because there's so many changes. So that would be my reasoning for why you want to learn your settings and lock them down.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Rick? You usually have like really clear video, the ones that I've seen you in. The thing that I've been noticing with some of my videos, and anybody can chime in, JT, Dad, Mary, Outback, is if I'm riding and there are trees behind me or there's grass on the side, sometimes my camera tends to focus on the closest object, which is like my handlebars, and then the rest of it will sometimes be a little bit pixelated. And I don't know or blurry, and I don't know if it's just what I'm watching it on. And sometimes YouTube takes a little while to, that resolution kick in, I guess. But do you guys ever run into that? And what settings do you suggest?
That's where your ISO settings come into play.
Hold on, I better write this down.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you what set your settings to,
technical.
but if you have your ISO set to auto, what the camera is going to try and compensate for what it thinks it wants to focus in on. So, which is the main reason why I decided to start going with ND filters on my camera. So if you guys don't already know, this is my GoPro here. This is the Hero 7 Black, and it's got an ND filter here, which basically helps the camera work a little bit less when it comes to lighting. And yeah, I mean, for me, I don't really have those issues where if I'm like going through a really sunny area and all of a sudden I go through a shady area, that the camera just kind of freaks out and focuses in on the wrong part. For that reason, and a lot of my settings are locked in the same way as Wigsley, but I actually don't mess with the ISO settings. I set my shutter speed a certain way, and then I also record most of my stuff flat as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yes,
maybe
that's something I haven't
can
tried
make-
yet.
I just wanted to interject one quick thing. I can make something super simple for everybody. The first settings you should lock down, and Ricky Ricardo, you made me think of it. Shutter speed is super important. Step 1, pick your FPS. Step 2, double that number and make it the bottom number of the fraction that is your shutter speed. So if you're in 24 frames a second, you should be 1/48 shutter speed. Lock it. If you're 30 frames a second, 1/60 shutter speed. Lock it. That's an easy one. That's the math on it. That is all cameras. It's the best starting point to get a good shot.
Okay, so let me just repeat that. So your FPS, your frames per second, whatever you set that at, if you double that and make that the denominator, so like if 30 is FPS, you'd be at 1/60th shutter speed. Is that what you're saying?
No, so you're gonna take, if you're in 30 frames a second.
Yep.
Your shutter speed is gonna be 1/60.
1/60.
Because you're just doubling the number.
Right.
And then putting a 1 over it.
Right. Cool. All right. So what do you have yours set at? What do you usually run with frames per second?
30 and 60, because 24 frames a second is good for cinematic. It gives you a nice motion blur. But for action stuff, when you want it to look smooth, sports, what we do, 30 makes it nice and smooth. 60 and 120 are used more for slow motion.
Right on. Well, there we go, guys. I think we learned a couple
That's interesting for me because I've not really messed too much with my camera settings. I think I had a little play around when I first got it, but I've not delved deep into it yet. So this is interesting to hear.
Yeah, I've just now started tweaking on some of those settings, and I played with it the other day before I went out. And this last video, I'm just not happy with the way it looks, man. The footage from the bike when I'm going through the roads. Of course, I'm riding through national forest and mountains all the time, so I've got all this green around me that tends to blur, like Deez was talking about. And then I get a lot of canopy cover too, so the sun will peek in and out, and that'll screw with the camera, especially if it's set on auto. Anything, it really screws it up. So I've started to tweak a lot of the stuff that Wigsley's talking about, but I've yet to dial it in perfectly by far. So
Mm.
I'd be
I-
happy to if anybody in the audience, in the group chat, or anybody on here, if you want, I can send, hit me up. My email's on my channel description, and I'd be happy to send anybody links for the videos that I learned from and just watched over and over until I got it.
Thank you.
That's awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah.
That's gonna happen. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Let me read some of the chats out here. Let me start off with, where are we? We got Yogi Cycle in the house. Rocket Rider 510 is back in the chat again.
Rocket.
You need to do that on a sunny day with a GoPro.
It's
You
the
need
Kansas guy. It's the human there.
All right, cool. Because it's too much light. Yeah, I just got a set of ND filters and I'm messing around with them. I don't know if it's doing what I need it to do. Mr. Kansas guy, there you go. Yeah, I don't know if it's doing what I need it to, because I don't know if I just need to black out some chrome or what, because it's pretty damn shiny on a lot of my videos. What else do we have? Skid Pig. I run auto settings on everything because I'm not a smart man. Well, what else? Just skipping around here, we got Motosaurus Rex, Southern Belle. Okay, I'm not making videos yet. I'm a supporter and a mods in people's lives. Fantastic. Well, welcome, Southern Belle. 333, you need to use proxies in Premiere to make it work. Rocket Rider, that's YouTube compression. Rocket Rider, if you want to get in, come on in.
Proxies are huge in Premiere Pro.
Let's
It's
talk about that.
necessary. So I recently upgraded my Premiere Pro to I think one of the more recent updates. Kind of got forced to do it with an update that I did to my computer. And I've also been recording in 4K a lot, and that's really taxing on your computer, especially if you don't have like a really high end one. I've only got 4 gigabytes of RAM, or I'm sorry, 8 gigabytes of RAM. So my computer doesn't really take to the 4K footage very well. Proxies, while it'll take a little while for Premiere Pro to generate them, it's a lot easier to edit with them, and it's definitely something that you should try if you're running Premiere Pro. A lot of people don't know about proxies. They usually just drop the preview settings to like a quarter of the I'm at a loss for words right now. Quality.
Quality. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I use proxies with Filmora. Sorry, Deez.
No, go ahead. I was going to ask the same.
Yeah, I use Filmora, and I found a setting on there for proxies because my laptop, I bought it before I started doing videos, so that struggled a lot when I started editing videos. So I found a setting. I can take a look if you like and drop you a message, but I found a setting for proxies, and my computer handles it much better now.
All right, sorry guys, just typing something out there to the chat. All right, cool. Yeah, so those proxies, you found that in Filmora. It's a setting?
Yeah.
I haven't messed with them at all. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I'll take a look and I'll send you the details if you like.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, what's the benefit? What's the
Yeah,
benefit?
if you're using Filmora, man, you need to check out Daniel Batal. B8.
Yes.
Yes, he is
Dude,
amazing.
There's everything on there. I mean, it's
Yes. I know. The dude is incredible, man. He really is. Really good
I will
dude.
say the one thing that I don't like about Filmora, and believe me, I love it because that's what I use, and it is so super easy to use and user friendly. But the one thing I don't like about it is it will only let you turn the volume up so much on your videos.
Right.
I'm struggling with that myself.
well. Check
I know it's
the
probably a setting in
your
my
volume
camera.
settings on your camera. Set
I've
it up a little
tried
bit higher. Oh.
Yeah. It's annoying. We'll figure it out.
It'll get there.
Yeah.
It'll get there.
I
Well,
want
that's
something to be
video.
great.
You want to move to the big bad wolf in the neighborhood, which is always audio?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Damn. Dude, once you think you got audio or video half figured out, it seems you start becoming more attuned to the audio little cracks and pops and things that, I mean, at least for me, when I first started making video, I didn't give a damn about those. It didn't matter to me. I was just, trying to get something out there, and some of it had no audio at all. So you just slap a music tune over it or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
But now it's like, if I come home and hear cracks and pops, I'm like, oh, Something else.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I think
definitely the hardest thing I think for people to learn is how to tune in that audio. I know it is the biggest struggle for everybody.
I'm having the hardest time with it right now. My last few videos, there's nothing I could do, and I had to put them up. And the first thing they taught us in video production school was that the best video with bad audio is crap video.
Yep.
And so it hurts my soul. And I just spent half this week taking the 2 new microphones I just spent money on and like stealing the wind muffs from my box of Senna stuff and like wrapping tape and muffs around every mic. And I came back. It's so frustrating when you shoot all day and come back bad on.
Now, I can tell you what I use to get my audio. So I've been through a bunch of different like iterations of mics for my channel, and as I'm sure most of us have. For a while, I was using like iPhone microphone for the audio, and I was using I lost all my props, and just an iPod Touch. So this is pretty much what I started out using audio with. And as we all know, that's kind of garbage. I mean, you're not going to get really good audio out of that. This one is it's a $6 mic that I got from Amazon, and I don't know if you can tell there, but it's wrapped in a bandana. I usually wrap my mics with the foam that it comes with, along with the dead cat, and I trim that down a little bit so that I can then wrap it again with like a piece of cloth or bandana. Usually, for me, I've got a deeper voice, so that helps to try and I guess not pick up as much sound, and it definitely helps a lot with the wind noise.
Definitely
Wow,
a cool
dude.
trick
So
with the
you
bandana.
got a dead cat on that as well.
Yeah, 3 layers.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah, it's wrapped pretty tight. Sounds good though.
Yeah, no, I mean this one actually was a kick in the nether region, because I spent $6 on this, lost it, and then I spent $65 on the giant squid mic. I was having a hard time getting that one to work, and then I finally found this one again. I felt like I wasted money basically.
Wow,
I think
man.
I've got this. I think I've got the same microphone. I had to buy it from Amazon International because Amazon UK didn't do it, but I found it recommended on another YouTube channel.
Right. I believe it's listed as like a Skype or a VoIP laptop microphone.
Yeah.
It's a good mic.
I'm gonna need that
Depending on your setup, it's definitely something worth trying out.
I might need to try some layers on it like you've done though. I've just got the sponge that came with it.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work. I think this one I used glue to put it all together. Then I've got other ones like the one that I'm using currently, which is the Purple Panda mic. And with this one, I actually sewed it together. I don't know if you can tell there on camera, but it's a little janky, but it does the job, and it picks up both my voice and the mic, the motorcycle pretty well. So yeah.
See, I don't even have my microphone sticking out like right from my mouth. It is barely, just the edge of it's barely poking out from my cheek pad right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because any other way, it was either overwhelming or just wind.
Yeah, well, every mic is different, and depending on what you're using to record that audio, is going to affect how the microphone works. I've used the iPod Touch. I've used the GoPro adapter, and then I've also used which I'm using now, which is the Tascam DR07 or DR09 audio recorder. They all work much differently. Oh, geez. But it just boils down to settings. I think for the iPod, there's an app called, I think, Voice Record Pro, which worked really well. It allows you to adjust the gain and a lot of the other options that you don't get in other apps.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'm using the Purple Panda. It seems to be okay, but I did better with my older GoPro and my cheap microphone. Again, man, I don't know what, if any, there's a difference in expensive or cheap microphones, because I hear that story over and over and over.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. And I actually, I heard about this cheap one through Blue Bike and Doyle. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. I'm sure we all are. But he rides around with a half helmet, and he still gets decent audio.
Damn, not bad.
So, yeah.
Not bad.
The struggle I had with audio when I started was I have my daughter on the back, and we communicate with a headset. So it was. I'm struggling to get her audio as clear as mine because it comes through the headset. I've got a combination of splitters and everything because I don't want to lumber her with loads of gear on her helmet. So even if I improve my audio, I think hers is still compromised, but clear enough for people to understand and to get the sort of thing across. But maybe something I'll look into in future, improving that somehow.
Right on, right on. Let me just get some of these side chats read here. I'm going to start off with Donamain. He says, I'm still learning some features on Filmora as editing goes. Chuckster, I can hear myself breathing when I'm not talking. The motorcycle mic, Purple Panda mic tucked in the cheek pad, 333. I'm not impressed with my Purple Panda at all. That's interesting because for the price I paid for the Purple Panda, I would have expected more as well. Let's see, Street Fighter ATL, I have a Purple Panda too. I mean, they work. They're fine, but to me, it just doesn't have the crispness. I'm looking for more of a crisp sound, and to me,
what
it sounds
are you using to record? Like, what are you using to record the audio into?
Bro, and that might be a part of it too. It's the straight up GoPro 7.
Huh? That's odd.
Yeah, I had a real bad problem with popping and clicking. Brought it back home and did the old Nintendo 64 thing where I just like blew into it and blew into the other side, stuck them together, and today's audio was on point. So
it also might have to do with the settings that you have set up in the GoPro. If you're using like a TRS and a TRRS, those are two completely different mics.
Oh yeah,
and that's gonna affect how your audio is gonna come out. I think TRS is the one that like isn't supported, but depending on the camera that you have, it might be supported enough to where you'll get decent audio, like say at a stoplight. But then the minute you start going and start to max out the mic, you'll start hearing that popping. So it's just something that you have to go and check your settings in. Also, line in is another thing that screws up your audio. Line in adds more, basically boosts your audio, and it'll peak out the audio track.
interesting. So line in. What do you mean? Like,
so it's a setting within GoPro, the GoPro like camera. So if you go and select, the type of mic that you have, there's mic, and then I think mic line in, and that's the one that will essentially boost your audio. So if you're not getting good audio, if your microphone's not picking up enough, by all means use that. But just know that it's going to probably max out your audio track for that video file.
Oh, I see. So it's going to give you extra audio tracks because I see that, depending on some of the settings, it'll give you a WAV file and like 2 other types of files. And yeah, like LVR or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's you're not using the Quick app for that. You're just pulling the files raw off the memory card, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
I'm not sure what those files actually do, because those just disappear when you go and use when you import using the Quick application.
Mm-hmm. All right. Cool. All right, let's keep it rolling. We're coming up on, I want to do a quick time check. 8:40. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're pretty much right on time, I guess. Before we go to the broadcast strategy, thumbnails and PowerPoint, I do all my thumbnails in PowerPoint, but before that, we got a question from the Moto Matt Man, and he asks, what kind of camera is everybody using? So all you guys out there in the chat, go ahead and write down the type of camera you have, but I also want to open it up to the panel. Let's talk about the type of cameras we got. So I guess we'll just start with, let's start with JT.
I'm sorry, I was reading side chat.
No, that's okay. That's okay. That side chat's crazy, man. I'm telling you, those people are nuts. We're talking about the type of camera we got. What are you running, JT? What camera are you?
I'm running the Drift Ghost 4K.
Okay, cool.
And got a side mount here, but and I'm pretty satisfied with it. Like I said, it shoots in 4K. I generally don't shoot in that. I usually shoot at 2.7 at 120 frames a second, just at the hopes that when it gets compressed down, that it's still holding that clarity. But like I said, I was just starting to really tweak the stuff Wiggsley was touching on earlier with all the settings. And yeah, I'm a little disappointed in the last one, how some of the stuff turned out. But yeah, I'm using that, and I also got this DJI Osmo Pocket So pretty much anything you see off the bike that I'm shooting with that at 4K, 60 frames a second.
Nice. All right, Miss Mary, what do you got?
I'm using the same thing JT's using actually. I got that not too long ago and I absolutely love it. It's easy to turn on, easy to use. You can see it. I have mine mounted on the side, I think like he does, and I can look in my mirror on my motorcycle and see that red light flashing, so I know it's working. So yeah, I absolutely love it. It's not for everybody. Everybody doesn't like that side view. A lot of people like that front forward facing view, but I love it.
It's cool. Good picture too.
Yeah, it does have a great picture. And the thing I like most about it is once you get it like up and down where you want it on your helmet, you can actually rotate the lens to get your horizon level, and you can see it all on your phone because it's linked to your phone. Pretty cool.
Wow, that's cool. I like that. That's a great feature.
Yeah. Great feature.
What about you, Rick? Is it the 7?
Yeah, I'm rocking the Hero 7 Black for my primary camera, and then I've got a Hero 5 Session for my backup camera. I used to run the Hero 5 Session for both, but one of them started to screw up a little bit.
Yeah, I hear the Session's good. I heard good things about it. It's got stabilization, doesn't it?
Yeah, no. If you're looking for like a starter GoPro, you can get like a refurbished Hero 5 Session for pretty cheap on Amazon these days. It does 4K 30 frames per second, 1080p at 60. But you know, these days you can just do everything in 1080. It works really well. Nice.
I got to look into that, man. Refurbished, because I want to get one that, you know, that I can stick on the bike anywhere, facing me, facing off wherever. I saw somebody, I think it was the 333, who did one and had to have a pretty small camera to do it, but it was under the back fender, and that was a really cool look. 333 is still in there. Yeah, you're seeing behind him, but you're still seeing the top of his back tire, and it's like that pointing out the back. Really cool.
That's taking a lot of risk there.
I thought about that today too. I was thinking about that shot, and I'm like, that was smart. And I'm like, well, shit, you got to be real trusting of your bike, man, or whatever adhesive or strap you're using, because that thing dips down just a little bit, it's shooting right out of the back.
Yeah, I've seen that happen to people before, and I think I've tested those kind of different angles in the past, and they're just I'm scared, especially with the Harley, the way it shakes. I'm like, I could put this on the fender, but it would probably fall off.
The 333 says he smashed his Session. Who else do we have up here? Let's see what other people are using. The Session 4 is my handlebar cam from the Bearded Bobber. Okay, that's a good call. Handlebar cam, so it's got to have good stabilization. I use my phone, Patrick says. Love the little Session 5 from JT Hickman. Southern Belle is putting up reviews. Looks good. Wow. Southern Belle, are you using all that stuff? I thought she said she didn't have a channel, but that's a whole lot of camera there. What else? All right. David Lawson of Northeast Pennsylvania, have not done rear angle yet. You know what? Somebody who does crazy angles. Well, number one, y'all know Stevie TV. So he's using, I don't know, some kind of other like otherworld 3D 360 shit. He's always experimenting with crazy stuff. Yeah. His videos, I'm like, whoa, man, I got to get ready to see those. The ones he posts on Instagram, insane.
That makes my head wonky. I don't like them.
I know. Like, damn, that is wild. I sure would like to try one of those 360s though and upload in 360, you know, so people can kind of turn the camera depending on where you are. If you were at a rally, that could be cool, but I don't see it for every day or certain activities. It would just, it would look weird. Somebody who does a badass job using them is Hippodrones. If you guys haven't seen, Hippodrones' last video, it was a track day for him. And I mean, you would swear he was being followed by a little drone. I mean, some of those angles, I don't understand how he's doing it. I think he's filming in 360, and then in the editing software, you can probably choose within that what what you're going to show. I mean, it's like, that's next level stuff. Skid Pig, Canon M50 and Hero 7 Black. Let's see, Southern Belle. I have an iPhone 7 but I'm learning what you guys say to help friends. Okay. Asking for a friend. All right, cool. Harley Moonrider in the house. Check out my ride for military. Use Insta360 1X, and it looked pretty good for a first time use. Okay, cool. Good chats going on in the side, man. I can't wait to go back and type.
Yeah, Bobber brought up a good one too. Brandon Picasso, he's always got some kind of crazy angle, or he's the editing wizard too. So
does he? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch more Brandon Picasso. Very cool, man. Very cool. All right, let's continue moving on through. 8:45. We're doing good on time, I think. That's clear audio. Oh, does anybody use a Tascam? I was thinking about getting one of those.
Before we move on, I actually want to hear what Wigsley and Matt and Dab use for.
Oh shit! I completely lost track. Sorry, buddies.
That's cool. I initially bought a Hero 5, and then I put that on Maddie's helmet so that I could buy an old 4 silver to put on my helmet, so I could use the old microphone adapter rather than waiting months for this restock of the £50, I don't know what that is in dollars, crazy microphone adapter. So I've got a 5 and a 4 on the 2 helmets, but I'd love to get another one for the wife, and to provide that alternative angle, maybe on the sissy bar or on the handlebars.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm just using a Hero 5 Black mic adapter into a Y splitter, 2 mics, one for my voice, one for the Senna, and a Senna 30K.
Hero 5 killing it.
What's that, JT?
I said the Hero 5 still killing it, man. Everybody that I've heard say is still using that camera. All their stuff.
I mean, sometimes I want to ask, did they even make a Hero 6? Because I hear about the 5 and I hear about the 7, and nobody bought the 6. It's crazy, man. Crazy. All right, cool. So who are we going to next? Next up on the agenda, what do we have? So clear audio. Oh, that's right. So speaking of clear audio, is anybody using a Tascam, or have you used a Tascam? I've posed this out on one of the sites that we have, and I got a lot of people coming back saying that they use the Tascam 5. I looked that up on Amazon. You're looking at about $100 to $115.
Yeah.
And again, I kind of weigh it out and I say, what is it worth to never have to worry about clear audio? But the Tascam does have inherent issues with vlogging, right? Because I guess you have to get the Tascam up and ready to record. Whereas if you're recording just straight off of your camera, you're just turning it on and off and automatically recording audio. Is that right?
Yeah, it definitely complicates things a little bit. The audio syncing isn't a big deal. You just do the clap and you're able to sync it up. But having to stop recording and then pull out your DRO5 to stop recording the audio there as well is kind of a headache, especially I'm forgetful. So I'll start recording on my audio recorder and then I'll start recording the video. I'll do a sync up, I'll get going. And then 20, 30 minutes later, I'll forget that I stopped vlogging a while back and I've just been recording audio this whole time. So now I've got a 30-minute audio clip with a 10-minute motovlog that I have to cut through. So it's a bit of a headache, and definitely takes a lot of getting used to. I think there's a setting on there to limit peak audio, which is still something that I'm working on to try and get better, more clear audio out of it, because I have to do a lot of stuff in post to get it to work properly.
What do you do with that with the microphone? Do you just have it inside your jacket and just tuck it in your helmet, or how does that work?
So I keep the audio recorder tucked into a chest pocket in my jacket. From there, I run it up the back of my helmet through a cheek pad, and then the microphone just sits right next to my face.
So do you just unplug the cable and leave the cable tucked in your helmet?
If I'm going to be vlogging, yeah, I usually leave it like that. That, I think, to be honest, that is the bane of my existence as a motovlogger, is forgetting that I have it on, pulling the helmet off, and almost yanking the cord out.
It hurts me as you say.
That's the one thing I hate about it.
I don't know if I could live with having to wire my helmet to a recorder every time I go out. As bad as my audio is right now, as mad as I am about it, I couldn't imagine being like, my whole life is wireless. I can't go back.
Right.
Well, so a lot of people when I'm out recording, they don't know that I'm running a mic because like this is I took the camera off, but this is it. I mean, there's nothing. It's just going to be the camera here, and then there's nothing tethering it to any microphone. So I mean, it's a cleaner look on video, but at the same time, it comes at a price.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of that's what drove me to
convenience.
Yeah.
Say what, JT?
A lot of that's what drove me to the drift, just because it's it's plug and play. I can plug that panel right into the bottom of it. It's connected right to the camera. I know when I click the button, audio and video is going. And man, I'm like Wiggsley. I want to be a minimalist as possible. I want as least shit on me that I have to carry or full width or stop and change batteries. Jesus Christ.
I think for me personally, that's why I like my original motovlogging setup, which is this one over here. I took the jaw off of it. But basically it's the camera right there. You got your mic adapter right there. The mic is running up on the inside, and it just stays like that. Like I take the mic off, I take off the jaw whenever I'm done motovlogging, and I just set it aside. I miss doing my motovlogs like that actually.
Mm. Cool, man. How about anybody else use anything exterior or outside of your typical microphone setup?
I actually just put 2 microphones in my helmet. I have, oh God, 2 different Purple Panda mics. I'm trying to do the whole dual vlog thing with the hubby now, and just finally got that dialed in. So we'll see. But it's tricky. I have one here at my face that's going directly to my camera, like JT said. It just goes straight to, and then the other one is actually laying on top of my speaker for my Senna. It's like right here in my ear, and I had to get it just right so that it would just kind of like lay right there in my ear. And it's comfortable for now, but we'll see. But it's got some tape over it. And finally got clear audio with that. So that just shows you the links that we'll go to as moto vloggers to get that audio and try and get it here and get those videos out, and the money that we'll spend to do it. So
that was is that what you use when you record your with your Senna?
What, the Purple Panda mic?
No, I mean Wiggsley.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No, I'm doing the same thing that Mary's doing. I'm using the GoPro mic adapter, goes to a splitter that I got on Amazon, which then goes to 2 microphones, and like she said, one at my mouth and one directly on the Senna speaker. And you have to, like you guys were saying with the different kinds of mics, you got to make sure you have the right adapters for the Y splitter and for the mic adapter. Yeah,
I've got a friend who does the same thing, but he uses some type of adapter that plugs directly into the 3.5 millimeter plug that's in the Senna, and he's able to record the audio directly from the Senna as if he's using speakers. I need to talk to that dude.
That's I do a similar thing. I think.
Talk to you later.
I've got my initial setup was going to be with the 2 microphones with the splitter, but I've got 2 splitters instead. So I've got a splitter coming from my headset, speakers in the one output, and a 3.5 to 3.5 male to male in the second splitter coming off the headset. Stay with me. And then that then goes into the splitter by my that goes into my microphone adapter. So I've got a splitter for my speaker and the audio coming from my daughter, and then I've got a splitter for I'm confusing myself, but I've got 2 splitters. It's better if I've got a diagram that I send to people that ask me about it because it's that difficult to try and explain. But I found it easier than using 2 microphones because it takes the audio directly from the headset for my daughter.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So I've got a
works,
question
man.
for you guys, talking about Sennas and stuff, as we did the 30K, right? So how do you guys like the 30K? And have you used anything previous that you would compare it to?
Well, I don't have a 30K, so.
No.
Well, I'll speak to that. Can you repeat the question so I make sure that I'm framing it right?
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier, Wiggs, how you use a 30K.
Yeah.
What do you have to compare it to, and how would you compare it to other things that you've used?
Okay, so good. I understand correctly. We just encountered this. So I just participated a couple weeks ago in the first ever Michigan Motovlogger meetup. We called it the Murder Mitten Motovlogger meetup. And there were 3 of us. BZRK 519 is from Sarnia. And the motorcycle Mick, who's in the chat. I met those dudes for the first time. And the dude that he changed his name today, and I don't remember it, but my buddy Ty was with us. We did a group ride, and we all had communication devices. It was a nightmare trying to pair different kinds and brands of these things. We had a Cardo there. We had guys with Senna 10s, 20s, 30s. Eventually, what worked was we just turned on the mesh for the guys that had 30s, and somehow we magically dragged everybody in, except for the guy with the Cardo. And like, I'm not talking trash. People spend their money on the thing that they want. I'm sure Cardos are really nice, but it was a limitation. We could not just pair him in the same way we could pair him with each other. It became complicated, started to take too long in the parking lot. So I would consider that when buying, for sure. What do your friends have? And then buy the same thing, and future-proof, buy the newest one.
For sure. Yeah, I just bought the Senna SMH10, and I mean, honestly, I bought it because all of my friends who I planned to ride with were rocking Sennas at the time, and I was like, well, I really only need it, and if we're just going to jump on public Bluetooth, then whatever, I'll just buy the Senna. On our last ride, I get there, and half of them have bought Cardos. So now we're not able to speak to each other anymore.
Right. It needs to be more ubiquitous across brands, or one brand is going to end up dominant. It's kind of the Xbox versus PlayStation thing, and it really boils down to it needs to be simple, where anybody that I meet that has a thing on their helmet, I should be able to talk to.
I think I read something that a lot of the newer models are making it so that you can connect universally to other Bluetooth devices now.
It basically picks up other like Sennas, or say like if it's a Cardo is going to pick up a Senna as if it's a phone rather than an actual Bluetooth communicator. And that's the way that they pair up now.
Oh, okay. I've got a Cardo, but that's because that was what I bought for myself personally when I was a few years ago, and my friends have all bought them since, and so I've just carried on. I bought one for the wife and the daughter, but I think you're right. You just get what everybody else is using.
Yep.
Yeah, I set the trend with my friends. I bought me and my roommate Sennas, and I told all my friends that if they didn't buy the same thing as us, they were huge losers. And slowly I've converted everybody.
Yeah, you got to get everybody on the same page with that shit, or else you're going to waste an hour and a half in the parking lot. Everybody's pissed off, you know.
Done that.
That's the quickest way for me to put the damn thing in the bag. We're like, man, listen, you know, we're better than daylight. Let's go.
Yeah.
Here you on that, man. All right, cool. Look, I want to, before we run off, coming up on the 9 o'clock hour, and just open this up, probably leave the chat going. Just wanted to do a real quick thing because we had it on the list, which is a little thing around thumbnails and just a real quick, easy, cheap way to do them. what I'm going to do, let me see if I can do a screen share. Drum roll if this thing don't blow up. Let's see. Let's see.
Oh, you did it.
Hey.
It worked. All right.
Good job.
It twerked. Very cool. Very cool. It twerked. All right. So here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Now look at that. I think if I drag this over, will you be able to see me? Maybe. All right. Anyway. So this is how we do this thing. What I typically will do is I will have two things open. I'm going to have the Paint 3D open, and I'm also going to have my my PowerPoint presentation open. And in PowerPoint, what I'll do in PowerPoint is I'll just open up a clean slide like this, just a new tile. I will take a picture and drag it into Paint 3D. And one effect that I was really going after that I hadn't seen before, let me see if I can do this. It's where you can kind of outline something. So if I wanted to outline, for example, maybe it's this guy with the flags, right? If I wanted to outline him in red and then put that as a part of my thumbnail, what I would do in Paint 3D is hit Magic Select, and then I'm going to take and drag these corners just around this dude. And we'll see, it's supposed to work like magic. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it takes a while. I'm going to hit next. And it kind of outlined the guy, which is pretty cool. But I can go over here to remove. Let's see if I can remove some of these trees. Just by drawing a line around them like that. It removed a lot of them. It also removed the guy's head. I'm going to try to remove part of this street. I'm going to remove this. All right, so that's not too bad. You guys get the point. Let's see if I can put his head back in there. All right, so you guys understand what I'm doing here. Anyway, so what I would then do is I would hit done. And now what I should be able to do is move this picture around. You see that?
Yep.
Oh,
So
wow.
so I've kind of cut them out. Now, again, it's a crappy job. I'm just doing it real quick on the fly. But what I would do then is I would copy that. Let me see if I can get my PowerPoint. And then I go to PowerPoint. I would paste it. And then from here, I could right click. I don't want any of these design ideas, but I could just click that out. I could right click. I could go to format picture. And then in format picture, here's where you put that outline. I could go to glow, grab a color, say red, boom, and there it is. So what you can do with something like that, if I had, say I had my Big Bend National Park, right? Let's copy that, come over here. I can paste it. I can send that to the back. So now I've got my guy here. So, you know, it's just a way that you can kind of outline things. It's a real cheap ass way to get your thumbnails done, but I've done every single one of my thumbnails using PowerPoint presentation. I know there are a lot of other things to do out there with thumbnails, and thumbnails, I mean, it's, let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen here. Let's go back. I think we're good. All right, so thumbnails, I mean, obviously it's something that you want to pay attention to. You want to get people to click on your thumbnail. What are you guys using for thumbnails?
I do mine
So
in
I do
Wondershare Filmora.
Wait, say again, Mary?
I do mine in Wondershare Filmora. Just it's as easy as like just screenshotting one of your photos from within your video and then adding your text and stuff over the top of it. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, right on, right on. Who else?
I do a real similar thing to you, but because I'm on a tablet, I use an iPad for everything. There's an app that's part of Adobe. It's Photoshop Mix, and it's specifically made to do what you were just doing with cutting out an image. And it's got real good smart selection. You can do that kind of similar glow thing, not quite as like drastic as what you had, but it creates a file that's a PNG file, and that's just the file that's got a transparent background. So you can take that now and drag it into any other program because you have it as its own separate file. And I'll do a similar thing to Mary where I'll just take a screenshot from the ride, and right in the video editing software, just create a static track with overlay title and brighten it up, turn up the contrast.
Cool. How
I
about you,
use
Rick?
oh, sorry, mate. Go on.
Go ahead, Dad.
Go ahead, man.
I use an app called Pixomatic, and I do a similar thing. Well, it's capable of doing similar things to that as well. It does the smart select where you just drag around the image roughly, and it'll automatically pick up the outline. You can take away and add, just like you did there. And then sometimes I'll use another app like a Typorama, I think it's called, just to type in the title, choose a font, and then go back to Pixomatic and just lay that over the top. I'm curious about that because I use a tablet and my phone for my thumbnails. So I'm curious, is that Photoshop? Is it called Photoshop Mix? And is that a paid?
It was free. Yeah, there's Photoshop Express and Photoshop Mix for the iPad, and they're both free. And from what I hear, when the new iPad OS comes out, full Photoshop is coming.
Cool. I'll keep an eye out for that.
I also recommend anybody that's using an iPad, LumaFusion. It's $20 and it's the best video editing software that exists for any kind of mobile. It's basically Premiere for $20, and it can render 6 tracks of 4K in real time.
Wow.
I use LumaFusion too.
Dude, I love it. It's so good.
It's a good app. I don't use it for every one of my videos, but when I'm traveling, I use it to edit.
I'll make a note of that.
So for my thumbnails, I have changed mine up a lot lately. I'm trying to make them a lot more simplified and just kind of do the big white text with a little bit of a border around it. Lately, I've just been kind of trying to come up with a new style for my channel. So, but before that, I was using Photoshop to kind of have like a little template for the border around my thumbnail. And then I'd go into Photoshop and I'd do the same thing that Deez was doing there. Do the PNG with a little bit of a glow on the outside. Didn't know that you could do that in PowerPoint. That's pretty cool. So.
Yeah, and so with PowerPoint, what I'll do is I'll put it into present mode. So like you're actually showing the PowerPoint. And when I get to the slide where I've done my thumbnail, I'll do a screenshot, open it back up, get a new slide in PowerPoint, copy the screenshot onto that, and then save as picture as a PNG onto my desktop. And then that's what I'll use. It might be a convoluted way of doing it sometimes, but you've got a bunch of different types of fonts in there and all kinds of ways that you can twist the fonts and stretch the fonts, and it's pretty cool. It's got some good things, and it's kind of free because we got PowerPoint on our stuff already.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I've used, and it's a paid app that you can pick up on the iPad. It's more of a drawing app, but I use Procreate, and I use that to do a lot of my thumbnail like templates, because you can drag layers and do effects and stuff like that in there as well.
Yeah, right on. I'm just gonna pay somebody one of these days to do all this shit, man. I mean, it's I saw somebody online offering to edit videos actually, and I'm thinking, man, not a bad idea sometimes.
What do you use it, JT?
That's my worst point, man. I am terrible with thumbnails. A lot of times I'll snap a picture some point out in the ride, or I'll take a screenshot and just do something on my phone. Or I've tried in Filmora a couple times, but it always craps out on me. YouTube doesn't like it for some reason, or I'm just really doing something wrong. But primarily here lately, it's just been my phone.
Yeah, I think with thumbnails, you really got to plan them out in advance. Because personally, when I forget to do a thumbnail, I can't find a part of the video that I want to use as my thumbnail. So I end up using some random spot, or I'll go to like my raw footage and I'll take a picture of that. And I don't know, I think for a while what I was doing was I was starting to put like a black overlay over it so that you couldn't really see what was there. You could kind of see that there was a bike in the background. And then I just put big text over it, which was kind of like my lazy way of doing thumbnails. But
that's laziness is my worst problem with that because after I fight with the editor and do all that and just work the time in to do it all, the thumbnail's the last thing that gets attention from me, and a lot of times I'm just rushing it out.
Yeah, as far as putting up thumbnails on YouTube, it doesn't like it doesn't like I guess a photo that isn't within their exact dimensions. So usually when I submit my thumbnail, it's got to be, I think it's 1080 by 608 pixels or 680 pixels. You can look it up, but yeah, whenever I size it to those exact pixels, it takes it automatically.
Yeah, I think it's 1280 to 720. Yeah, because I was messing around with that today. Yeah, you're right. Do you find that saving it as a JPEG is better than other forms? Because for me, I'm a creature of habit, so I just always do it that way. But have you ever tried to save it any other way?
I've saved mine as a PNG before. Usually when I like forget to change the file type when I'm working within like Photoshop or not Photoshop, Illustrator. When I'm working with Illustrator, I'll end up saving it as a PNG before I open it back up in Photoshop to do a little bit of editing. But if I just save it within Illustrator and then upload it straight to YouTube, a lot of the times forget. It'll accept it as a PDF though, which is pretty interesting.
Cool. Let me read some of the comments out here. We got Landshark, Little Shop of Photos, Blacktop Devil, Pickmaker, then GIMP for some extra stuff. Yogi Cycle Service, talking about RR510s. Okay, talking to Rocket Rider. Who else do we have? Base Connor says, so Crayolas and stencils is out. Etch-a-Sketch. Someone's throwing out Etch-a-Sketch. That's Free Rider 1959. Okay, so we got so many people out here in the chat. I just want to throw out some more names, guys. Free Rider 1959. You guys got to check them out. Chuckster, the Motorcycle Mick. We've talked about the Motorcycle Mick today. Damn World says it accepts 720p max. Okay. Yep. Adventures of the Bearded Bobber. Chuckster, that's a good topic. What topic was it? Chuckster says, Dirty D's topic for the next live stream, scripted versus unscripted vlogs. Oh, damn. Good one, dude. Damn good topic. Shoot, let's do that one tomorrow night. Or we could talk about it even later on today. I mean, heck, I've done both. And to me, I can tell when something's scripted and when it's not. And I can tell when my own stuff is scripted and not, which isn't bad. I mean, you know, depending on the topic, I guess, if it's complicated. What I have done, I tried this, but I could never incorporate it. One time I wrote something and then I read it into my phone. And then as I was writing, I tried to listen to it and say it. Jesus, what a mess that was. I would not suggest trying to do that because you're going to miss one word and the next thing you know, that thing is over with. Try to get it slick. It doesn't work. Let's see what else. Thanks for the shout out. Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Pick Monkey. Base Connor. Later Pride. I don't know what that is. All right. So when we're talking about, you know, using all these different types of equipment and stuff, I mean, I really like what Wig said, which was, you know, you just got to learn your equipment. You got to know your equipment, test your equipment. I mean, for me, that's something that I'm always doing. Even when I got these filters, I'm like, well, damn, now I have 3 different choices. Give me less, you know, give me fewer choices and make my life easy. Now I got to see what I can record and what type of light. And yeah, man, I mean, it can be daunting. The thing that I would recommend for new YouTubers, and I guess we're all kind of in there, coming up on our 1 year or whatever. A lot of us have been hanging out for a long time here on this YouTube thing for about a year, right? All together, kind of started at the same time. Anybody else who's newer, I would say, man, don't go out blowing a whole lot of money on stuff. You know, listen to other YouTubers, watch the videos, read the reviews, because it's too easy for people who have the means or even don't have the means to just start buying all kind of like boom mics and contraptions and this thing and that thing. And the thing is, you will never run out of more stuff to buy for this thing that we do. There's always something new on the horizon. You're always going to see something pop up on Instagram that's going to want you to buy it. And, you know, it's just, man, just take your time and make it simple. That's what I would suggest. You guys have anything for newer YouTubers? Anything that you wish you knew when you first started?
I don't have a newer YouTuber, but I do have a guy that I want to plug. That's Muncie Man. Mary brought him up earlier, I think, or somebody brought him up. But yeah, he's been really putting out a lot of videos lately, and yeah, I mean, for somebody who's just started riding a motorcycle at 40 years old, I think it's 40 years old. I don't
Really?
know. He might be a little older. I don't know. He's not in the chat room, so I can't confirm, but
Can you guys see my YouTube up right now?
I can see it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
See all your search history.
All right. So the Muncie man, let's try to
Just Muncie Man.
just Muncie man. All right, let's see.
There he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, we've talked about. I think I brought him up before, but I just figured I'd plug him again. He's been doing a little bit more videos lately.
Absolutely. You can see the Muncie man here, rides an Indian, 123 subscribers. And let's see how many videos he's got. And I was having a discussion actually recently, and I won't name them because maybe they don't want to be named, or maybe they do, I don't know. But we were talking about, with newer YouTubers, when we give them a platform or an audience, or we start recommending them, it's, it can be tough for a new YouTuber who just got started that week or that month, who's still figuring out their stuff. All of a sudden they do have the viewers that they wanted, but now the pressure's on them to put something out, right? So sometimes you want to kind of let them bake for a little while, I think. And I think the Muncie man is someone who's definitely, you can see he's been posting now for about a year.
He's been putting out a lot of videos lately. I think he's 30 videos in, and I mean that's a lot for somebody who's just started. I'm at, I think, 73 videos as of my last one, and I've been doing this for, I think, almost 3 years.
Wow, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. So the Muncie man. All right. Anybody else have somebody that they want to bring up?
Yeah, I want to shout out the Motorcycle Mech. He's been in the chat the whole time. He's a new friend of mine, but he is a cool ass dude, and he is super duper fresh. He just started. He is pumping out content, and very quickly he's gotten really good. And he loves it, man. He lives and breathes moto vlogging, and yeah, I've gotten to ride with him twice in a couple of group rides in the last couple of weeks, and he's a pleasure to hang with. And I think he's got a really good eye for like there on your screen. He does really interesting reviews when you review something like that. Your Cardo is garbage. That's a funny video. Everyone should go check that out. And he's trying to hit 200. He's super close. Everybody go subscribe to that guy. Let's help him hit 200.
Yep, I just subscribed to him. All right, cool. The Moto Mick, thanks for being in here, by the way. Yeah, he was in the live chat. I actually messaged.
Look, he just started. Look how many videos he has. I think he's a couple months in.
Yeah, man. I mean, it looks like he really ramped up in the last 4 months.
Yeah.
Very cool, dude. All right. So the Moto Mick. I'm going to load up on some of his videos tonight. Very cool. How about you other guys? What do you got?
A guy I met up at the West Virginia meetup, Mr. McStash.
Hey, that
Good
guy.
one.
Yeah,
Mr. McStash.
Mr.
Okay.
McStash. He's a great guy, man. We got to hang out. He's funny as hell. He's just getting started, but he rides everywhere.
He's a character.
Yeah, he is. He's got the
All right.
He's got the McStash going on. So
All right, I'm picking
I'm facial hair jealous.
Hair jealous. Nice. Got lost and ended up with my bike in the water. Oh, damn. I got to see that one. How does that one only have 86 views? I would think on YouTube that one would be trending high. Check that out. Very cool. And it looks like he's uploading, every couple of days. He's really hustling, huh?
He's out, God, I think he was headed to Nebraska, and he's been at Sturgis here the last couple of days where you see Spearfish Canyon, Wyoming. He's all over the place right now. Just got back from Niagara Falls.
Well, look at that. All right, cool. Sesame Street was somebody high. Okay. He got my attention with that one.
Oh, he's a character.
It looks
Come on,
like
man.
you've got some great thumbnails.
He definitely does. You got a guy in a Speedo on a 10 speed with friggin'
Oh, that's actually a picture from the West Virginia meetup. So.
Good Lord, no. You gotta
I didn't see that guy.
Yeah.
All right, cool. This is probably going to be the first one I watch. Dual motovlog setup under $60, not counting camera. All right, cool. Very neat, very neat. Mary, you got anybody for us?
Well, honestly, I'm so behind on videos. Y'all know I've been trying to catch up on editing, so I've been way behind on trying to watch people's videos. But I did watch some today, and like you said, I hate to throw somebody out there that's new, because I don't want them to feel the pressure. But I did watch a bunch of videos today from Dan Moto. I think he's got about 90 subscribers, and I'm not sure where he's from. If anybody knows, jump in here. But beautiful, beautiful scenery and countryside that he's riding along, and some interesting videos that I probably watched 6.
Danomoto's Wales.
Is he in Wales? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's in the same owners group as me over in the UK, and we've become sort of friends. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Great. Cool. Okay.
Oh, there he is.
There it is. Yeah. Yep, that's the one.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got some ride videos and some other stuff, but I watched several of his ride videos today, and like I said, just beautiful, beautiful scenery. Like, click on the videos part, and that'll show it's on there. But
I was
yeah,
subscribed, but I gotta hit that bell.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's got. Oh, look at that. Okay. So we've got some on the bike, some off the bike. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones. They're nice. He's got some beautiful scenery there. This Brecon, that is in Wales. Beautiful place.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Okay, so this one, Harley Davidson through Brecon. That's probably the one I'm going to watch first.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Very cool. And he's only been doing it for 3 months, and it looks like he's got what? 4, 8, 6,
Yeah, and he got shut down for a while too.
What's that?
He got shut.
His bike was out of action.
Yeah, his bike was out of action there for a little bit. Something with his, I think his back brake come off. And
oh wow,
having trouble getting a part for it, but he's back going again. So
yeah, it's good because he started the same time as me with the with our YouTube channels and stuff. So and we had that common thing already with a group that we're in. So it's been pretty cool getting to know him and watch his videos as well.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool. Very cool. Yep. Looks good. Looks like he's got what, a Sportster there, I think.
Yep. Or that's right. Yeah.
Iron 883, I think, is what it says on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Anybody else?
I would like to mention Small Travels. I don't know if you've seen that. So it's SMORE. Small.
Oh yes.
Underscore Travels. He's just got a handful up there. He's not long started. I know you just said don't put pressure on these people, but I'm sorry.
Put pressure, man. All right, so that's somebody new. I'm gonna hit subscribe on him, give him a shot, and see what he's up to. It looks like his
those thumbnails are nice. He's got a real signature thumbnail there, hasn't he? It's real nice.
Yeah. No, that is real good. Wow.
Yeah. Props to him for listening to the people that know what they're talking about and not winging it. Very cool. Very cool. First moto vlog, 1,000-mile moto vlog, called out 3 MFers, tab performance, bam stick. All right, cool. Like that. Nice. Anybody else got anybody new? I
Has anybody seen the Eggman?
Yes.
Yes, the Eggman.
I'm sucked in. I keep watching because somebody that's gonna blow up bad one day.
Yeah, the third one. Stupid driver gets egged and tomatoed.
Yeah, he's nuts, man.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Porsche.
This guy's great.
Yeah.
He rides a moped and he has these little cages to hold eggs, and he just eggs people's cars that cut them off.
Oh my god.
Oh
That is wild.
God, you gotta be kidding me.
He's crazy.
And a tomato.
He's somewhere in like Sweden or Norway or
I like that caption.
This guy's brilliant.
If you scroll down a touch, it just says pull out in front of me and get the egg. It's that simple.
Yeah, and he don't give a shit. Listen, if that Ferrari brake check him, he's gonna egg
No
it.
way.
Oh
There he
no!
goes. Look.
That is
Gotta be kidding me. He's not gonna throw an egg at this.
He's all over Moto Madness, and it's brilliant. I mean, that's how you. How many subscribers does he already have? He just started not that long ago, too. 27,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah. Over
Yeah.
4,000 subscribers.
Good for that dude.
Yeah, good for that dude, man. His eggs are like bouncing all over the place. That's insane. They're about to fall
He's
right
got
out
foam
of that.
now. No, he's got foam. He's got like an egg carton foam.
He's put all his eggs in one basket, though. That's the problem.
Nice, nice, cool. Well, guys, I know we're heading up to 9:30 right now, and I know people got stuff to do. I know, Dad, it's probably what, almost 4 a.m. your time. You're probably getting ready for work pretty soon.
Super.
So,
I might get about 2.5 hours, 3 hours sleep.
yeah, man. Well, thanks for hanging in there with us. I'm gonna shut down the video portion, guys, but I might just leave up the chat for a little while. If anybody's still out here in the chat, I've got like so many screens open right now. I don't even know what my channel's doing, or even if we're even still doing okay with the live. But all right, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. And look, what we used today, we used Zoom, which I may or may not use on the next one here in about a month or so. But I think it turned out pretty well. The next thing I want to learn how to do is use an encoder with it, though, so that we can, you know, kind of switch up the fonts and do some different things with backgrounds and stuff like that. But you know, it's just like anything else, man. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. I think we did okay tonight.
Did good.
Yeah, it was good. Thanks for having me as well.
Right on, anytime. Rick, thank you. JT, thank you. Wiggs, thank you so much. Dad, we had the fart chair detective in the house tonight. He had to drop off, I guess. He was having some audio issues, but all right, guys, I'm gonna leave it up for a little while, but we will see you out there on the next. Peace out.
All right. Thanks for
Later.
having
See you
me.
later.
Man, have a good night.
Later.